Hello and good day out there, wonderful family. We are getting ready to head out to Ashley's dad's house. He lives in Deltona, so about a 35-minute drive-ish. We're gonna be doing like a little get-together party. I think it's supposed to be a surprise anniversary celebration for her grandparents, which is a few months after their anniversary, but it's been something that my father-in-law's mother-in-law has been wanting to do. She's very close with them and she's been wanting to celebrate their anniversary, considering that they've been married for how many years? 60 years. She had wanted to do something a few months ago. It didn't really work out. We ended up actually gifting them between all the family, putting money together, getting them like a nice little cruise. So they were able to enjoy that, but there was never actually any sort of a celebration. So there is food to eat, things to do, and so why not celebrate this beautiful union? So Ashley's in the middle of getting ready. We got the little ones practically done. I think Maylee just needs to get her hair done and we'll head off.
Dad, what is he saying?
I know Nixie is super excited to go to his grandfather's house because a few months back he actually did some renovating in the house and he installed like a pretty cool playroom and actually bought like little arcades. He got like a foosball table. I don't know if he still has the pool table. He used to. I don't know if it's still there, but he actually made it real nice. So Nixie went months ago and ever since then he's been like, let's go back. Because they live in Deltona, we don't really have as much chance to go and visit them as we would like. Before, all of the hustle and bustle of kids and work and career paths and all that stuff, I actually used to go pretty much weekly. Now that we have the 4 kids, it's a little bit harder to go as much as we want to, but when we get the chance, we try to take advantage. It'll be good.
Dad, I remember that boy that let me play the Mario game.
I think so.
I hope. I don't know what his name was.
Can you fix your shoe?
But he was a boy.
Fix your shoe. All right, kids. You got your water bottle, Maylee?
I made a thing.
Leon, you got your water bottle? Where's your water bottle?
Ow.
Your Mickey Mouse. We got to fill it if it's not full.
Say hi, Vessa.
And we're off. We'll see you there. And we have arrived. We are in Deltona. I'll give you the tour in just a moment, but the drive here was pretty easy. I think it was pretty good. We set up shop, baby. Can't go anywhere without the playpen and the high chair. So usually when we travel with the whole bandwagon set. You got to bring a playpen and a high chair, just so she can have a spot to sit at. So there's a lot of stuff to do here. Well, a lot of stuff for the kids. So let's check it out.
So this is my dad's game room. So this was the garage that they converted, and my kids are just obsessed with this. They love coming in here now and playing all the different games. And they're old school games too. There's Pac-Man, Mortal Kombat. I saw a Marvel game, Galaga. Nix was playing that one earlier too. Now he's playing air hockey by himself. But yeah, so this is a little bit of the game room.
And then he even has a movie room upstairs. Got a candy section, candy bar even. Don't know if we can just buy these. Well, we got a barcode, so I guess so. And then there's a movie going on, so I can't give it to her, but he's got the projector screen with the projector like right up there. Nice little movie room. He built it all himself. So this used to be open, just like a nook. Put these panels on, close it up, made the door. Cause all this was just open. So you come up here, he had like a full table up here, and it was just like very bright. Closed it all up, darkened it up, sort of soundproofed it. Added the speakers in the works. Snack bar here. Really fixed this up. It's very nice up here. Too bad he lives so far. We come here more often, do more movie nights, but maybe when the kids are older. But they're actually selling the house too, so they might not be here for very long. One thing you can always count on when you come here is there's always a lot of food and good food. think it's time to go. And so we have made it home. Busy day, but a good one. Nixie played a lot. He was able to watch some movies, Maylee and Leon, and even Vessa Vessa was more confined to the high chair and the playpen and the occasional arms who wanted to hold her, but at least Leon, Nix, and Maylee were able to play a lot. We had a good time, and it is now way past the kids' bedtime. We ended up getting them some nuggets, so they're just enjoying some nuggets right back there. Mama? Yeah. There she is. She is picking out clothes.
It's a green day tomorrow.
Oh yes, for the month of May, school had different themes for each day. So I actually wrote it all down on the calendar. Tomorrow is Green Day. Not the band, but green?
Yeah.
The color.
That's
so
a bit much, I think, though.
Send them full leprechaun mode.
Wow.
The more ridiculous, the better, I say. So while Ashley does that, the kids will eat and we'll bathe and get them to bed. And then we'll have a nice night. But we'll go ahead and check out here. Say thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Kids are down and we wanted to step away from our normal nighttime routine. One of the things that we haven't really talked through all the way is our Utah trip, which we haven't really talked about much on this channel, but it's been something we've actually been looking forward to for a few months now, and it really came off of a throwaway comment I made. I don't remember if it was at the end of December or early January when we were like, that time of the year where you're like thinking through what your new year is gonna look like. Goals, dreams, desires, things
Adventures.
that you want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It really came from me wanting to get away from the routine that I had established for myself and for the family. And it was really like just a routine of doing really not much of anything, if that makes sense. And doing nothing in the sense of I just like to be at home. I like to do things at home. And so as we were thinking about the year, I told Ashley I really wanted to just get away from that and actually do something. Like we should like take a trip, like Utah, right? You've always wanted to see the mountains, and it was just like a thing. And the next thing we know, we're like looking at flights.
Yeah.
And the next thing we know even further, we're like, hey, we have these points on our credit card. We've been accumulating them. We don't know what we were going to use them for. Maybe we go to Utah. And the more we looked into it.
Yeah, initially, I feel like it was just going to be us two.
Yeah.
Kind of just going like, like our little getaway, just me and you. But then we started thinking like, this is probably a good opportunity to go with the kids, especially like after school. And the kids have never been outside of Florida, and they've never really seen snow. Well, I mean, we're not going in the winter, but who knows? I don't know. The weather over there seems to be a lot colder,
very mild
and different
for this time of year.
Yeah, 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Like it rarely gets to the 80s right now there, but I feel like the day that we get there, it said it's going to be like 80s.
Well, we'll
so
see.
Maybe we're bringing Florida weather.
Maybe, but
I don't know.
I'm looking forward to no humidity, I think. I think it's supposed to be a little more dry, but what do I know? So we have the big items pretty much set. We're doing an Airbnb for this trip. We've never done Airbnb before. Like my parents done it and they enjoy it. So it seems like the experience is positive depending on what you pick. And Ashley did the booking on this, so maybe she can speak a little more to it. But my understanding is there's like a rating system for the houses.
Yeah,
or
kind
the
of like with
locations
everything.
available.
Yeah, like there's like to 0 to 5 stars, and basically you have all the reviews and people rate like their stay and how they like their experience and all those things. And so we went based off of that, and I guess there's something called a super host with Airbnb, and I guess that's one of the ones that we chose. They're a super host, which means like they have really good ratings and everyone was happy. I really wanted to make sure that the place that we got had at least it had to have like a mountain view, a view of like the landscape, because we don't have that here, and that's just something that really drew me to Utah in the first place, was all the mountains. So I'm like, okay, the house has to have a mountain and also like a fenced backyard, because we have a nice backyard here, but it's not fenced all the way, so we're still really cautious with the kids going outside. So I wanted that our experience over there for the kids to be able to run around and have fun without us worrying that they're going to go into the street or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
shown the backyard plenty of times, but there's a lake at the end, which is nice to look at when the lawn is mowed and it's that early morning, sit outside with a cup of coffee. But I don't really do that, again, because it's super hot. But in the winter, we can, and it's nice. But it is nerve-wracking when the kids start to get closer to the lake because they're so tiny. It's very easy to fall into if you're not watching. In fact, it happened to Leon a few weeks ago. Thankfully, I was right there next to him.
I wasn't there, so that's probably...
I was there next to him. Yeah, exactly. I was there, but I was there, and I pulled him out pretty quick, and he only really just got his feet wet. It wasn't like he fell super in, but we want to be able to sit outside and talk while the kids play without us having to be like with that side eye, like, where are they going? Where are they going? Where are they going? Like, obviously, we're still going to watch our kids. We're very paranoid when it comes to their safety. I think we do a good job not hovering. We're not helicopter parents. We are watchful for them, but to just have that enclosed area that we could just enjoy those moments with the kids. We can talk, but also the kids can have the freedom to just kind of do their thing without, hey, don't get too close to the lake or this and that, what are the others? We were able to find a house that hit all of those check boxes
and
for
it's
us.
like, we wanted to like immerse ourselves into like the community and how like everyone is. So it's like in a nice like neighborhood with like other houses, and it's close to like a lot of the activities that we want to try and do. Mm-hmm. So that was another plus.
Yeah, even in looking, and even doing like a Google map, like there's a park literally across the street. There's a pizza place that like seems like a local pizza place that, looking at the Google reviews, it's got like a 4.8. And even Ashley said that she came across it when she looks at different lists of local places to try. I think it's called Taboo Pizza. Yeah. We've got the car. We're doing a rental car straight from the airport. So we're
about
trying
45 minutes because we're flying into Salt Lake and then driving. It's like 45 minutes.
45 minutes from the airport to the Airbnb. So we'll leave Orlando at 7:30. 7:30.
Layover in Denver.
Okay.
Like an hour and a half. And then it's like another hour and a half flight to Salt Lake. So we'll get there like at 12:30.
12:30 their time. Mm-hmm. So it'll be about 2:30 our time. So what is that? A 7-hour total experience?
That's like one of the shortest too.
Yeah, we were going flight by flight. It took us about a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think maybe even longer.
To decide whether we wanted nonstop or layovers. Kept looking at YouTube videos and everything and asking other people for advice who've flown with kids too, because we were not sure. We were like, should we just risk it and just go straight? And it's like, I think like 6 hours or something. It was 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
Or, break it up into like 2. So we decided on breaking it up.
We did, yeah. So. It'll be the first time the kids leave the state. Well, if you count the cruise, I guess technically that is. But we didn't get off the boat, so...
Yeah, first time on a plane, in an airport, really.
Yeah, exactly, all of that. Vessa's just turned 1, Leon just turned 3. I'm not worried about Nix and Maylee. I think they'll be fine. I think Leon might even probably be fine. Vessa's the one that I'm a little bit concerned with because we just have to keep her occupied for... Everyone
knows, like, kids under 2 fly free. So that was something also, but I don't even think we thought about that. We were like, no, regardless, we're getting her own seat.
Yeah, we did pay for her seat because I just couldn't think of... And it could go either way, and I know there's so many different opinions because we're flying Southwest, and Southwest doesn't do like assigned seats. You
pick your seat.
You have your based on your boarding. So there's different advice out there that says like, don't buy the seat, just one of you sit on the window, the other one on the aisle. It's less likely that someone will pick that middle seat, and you can almost get that middle seat for free.
But with us,
it's not a guarantee.
Kids.
Exactly. With us having 6 total, so we could take 2 rows, or like a full row, or like a 2 half rows. So we'll probably sit front to back. We just didn't want to risk it. Flights seem to be booking pretty rapidly, so knowing our luck, we probably would have had someone grudgingly sitting in the middle, so one of us would have to hold Vessa, and I don't want to have to hold Vessa for 5-7 hours. She wants to move. I'd rather just stand her. She can stand on the chair, just kind of entertain herself. I'll be watching over her, and then with Ashley right behind me or in front of me, depending on how we get the seats, I think we can make it work. So it's a small price to pay for what we think is more peace of mind. We'll see how it turns out. Maybe the flight will be empty. I doubt it, but who knows? If so, then it's less worry for us because it's less people that can get frustrated with babies.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, babies are people and they should be allowed in these public spaces, and babies need to fly. So we'll deal with it. We hope everyone else around us shows us the grace that we believe we'd show them, and that's it.
So we got our flight, we got the Airbnb, and we got the car rental. And with the car rental, we got car seats as well, which is another debate I've watched a lot of YouTube videos on about, and articles I've read on whether or not to use the car rental car seats, but that's a first for us too. So we did it, and so we will show you how that ends up. Everything here is a whole new experience for all of us. Us traveling with the kids, them being on a plane, us going to a new place, car rentals, Airbnbs, everything is just brand new.
And I think to the car, the car seat rental, there's a lot of videos that and Ashley's watched a lot, and I've been able to catch some here and there. So I kind of have seen some general points. There's a lot that were like, you know, some were don't trust it, or a lot of people say like just bring yours, you can check it. But in a world where we're packing for 6 people, you know, 2 adults, 4 kids,
2 strollers as well.
2 strollers we're taking, plus the carry-ons that we need to make sure we're filled with proper snacks and proper activities. Also, we haven't been in an airport like us flying in 8 years.
Yeah.
We were traveling just me, Ashley, and Maylee. So we're talking 9 years. No, yeah, 9 years ago.
So you baby carried her.
Yeah.
You had a baby carrier,
yep.
and she was in there. Like.
Yeah. So that would probably be the only time I would actually carry the baby, because she's 3 months. She can't do anything. That's easy.
But then being active, they say between the ages of 1 and 2 are the most difficult to fly. So we picked the perfect time.
We picked the exactly.
Fly.
She's getting right in the middle, because her birthday was in March.
So she's 14 months.
Yeah.
She's almost 15 months.
Almost 15
now,
months. So we like living life on the
like
hard
challenge.
mode. Exactly. So we didn't want to have to check a car seat. Plus, Vesta has a car seat. Leon has a car seat.
And Nyx has like a booster.
And Nyx has like a booster. And then Maylee, I think she's reached a point where she doesn't need a booster based on her size. So we'd have to check at least 2. We're going to Utah or flying across the country.
And I don't know if we said this for a week.
That's why we decided to just get the stuff there, pay a little extra, peace of mind, and just hope and pray and believe that everything will turn out all right, and we'll have a great time. So the last piece of this puzzle, we've been going on 20 minutes already, is the activities. So the itinerary is that last piece. So we've gotten as far as the things that we want to do with a little wiggle room to be spontaneous. In no particular order, we were looking at the South Ogden Nature Park. We asked the kids what they wanted to do. They chose a splash pad. When I saw this list, when Ashley had told me about it, I was like, oh, is there like a special splash pad? It's like, no, the kids just want to do a splash pad.
Yeah, I specifically asked them, okay, what do you want to do when we get to Utah? What are the activities that interest you? So they would say, oh, a splash pad. Oh, we want to go to the zoo or the aquarium. We want to see the animals. So based on like what they like, I wanted to find really good spots that had those. Because we want them to enjoy themselves. You know, we want them to experience this and enjoy themselves. So I wanted to make sure that the things and activities that we chose were what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So. And
I'm really grateful that Ashley did that, because I think that's something that I know I was always considering, but I didn't know how to put it into words. And we talk, and if you see our videos, we talk a lot about just wanting to create nice memories, but we're not this family that does extravagant activities on a weekly or daily basis. But we do understand the importance of finding beauty through the mundane and the monotonous, but also changing up the routine and finding beauty there as well, and the beauty in the memories that we make and the bonds that we strengthen. So I'm glad that Ashley did that, because I wouldn't want this to be like a, hey, you're doing this because we said we're doing this, and the whole time they're like, we don't like this.
Yeah, like, I'm bored.
Exactly. We didn't want them to be bored. We also understand that there's some things that we did want to experience with them. Like Utah, I know, is well known for like having some national parks. Now, where we'll be, some of the national parks are a few hours away.
Some trails.
There's
that I've seen, and then there's one that has like a waterfall. So yeah, I think we have Waterfall Canyon Trail.
Waterfall Canyon Trail.
Yeah, so that's one that I saw where you walk. I don't know how far, maybe like 2 miles or something, and then you get to a waterfall, which they say is nice. But what worries me is with Vesta.
Yeah.
Because all our kids can like walk and stuff. She's starting to walk, but then I feel like we'd have to carry her the whole time.
Yeah, I think.
So I don't know how far we can get.
Because I can foresee us traveling to Utah a few times. I don't. There's just something about Utah that's really drawing us, and in a way where, you know, some families have spots that they like to go to, whether it's California or New York. I could see Utah being that. Obviously, this is a little premature because we've never traveled anywhere and we just chose Utah. But I know that there's many things to do, so my intention is not to try to cram all of those things into this trip, especially since we have kids. And one of the things that Utah is known for is there are more outdoors type activities.
Yeah.
Our kids love to play, but they're not like outdoorsy type. We're not going to local parks and going on trails. So I can see us not doing something like a trail, but I do want to drive through scenic areas and experience landscape that's vastly different to what we see in Orlando. In Orlando, the closest we get to mountains are hills, going to like Claremont or Mount Dora, but you know, those are hills. Landfills. We always make a joke when we drive by landfills, like, look, that's the closest thing we'll get to a mountain. So I want them to be able to look out and experience God's beauty in just how different Utah is to at least Central Florida. Here we got a lot of lakes. Florida is nice, but I've lived in Florida my whole life. I think I'm ready for a change. So one of the things is like the zoo, which I think there's several, but there's one that we want to go to.
It's called Utah's Hoggle Zoo. So it's located in Salt Lake City. So it's about 52 minutes from our Airbnb. So, I mean, here we go to the Tampa Zoo, which is about an hour and a half from us. So anything like less than that is like perfect. Because we know that the kids can make it in the car for that long.
Yeah. Then there's an aquarium at a mall.
Yeah, it's like inside the mall. So it's called the Sequest Aquarium. So, and it's located in the mall, I think in Layton, Utah. Yeah, but they have different locations. So they're located in other states. But yeah, the one in Utah is in a mall.
There's a treehouse museum, which was featured on a Blippi.
I think a Blippi episode. I cannot find it. I keep trying to search for it, and it's like non-existent now. But I could have sworn he went there, and that's how I found out about it. So yeah, the Treehouse Museum.
And then there's a dinosaur park,
which Nick doesn't know about, but he's like obsessed with dinosaurs. So we're hoping to like surprise him going there.
Yeah,
so,
that one I'm looking for.
It's like indoor and outdoor, and like they're open like through all the seasons. So it should be really to see.
We had wrote here ice skating. I wonder if that's like a melee thing.
I think it was more me.
Oh.
But then I got to thinking, wait, we do have like a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old too, so like how much can we really do with that?
Yeah.
And they didn't seem like they really wanted to do it. I mean, Maylee might have, but the rest of them, I don't think they would have any interest in it.
It's something that like I don't think we can just do on a whim. Maylee's learning to ride bike without training wheels. If you saw that video, she's got a little bit, but she still has work to do. So I doubt she'll be ready to balance herself on ice skates.
Oh,
rollerblades and ice skates. So we'll probably scratch that. The Utah Petting Zoo.
Yeah, it is an hour away, and I think they were closed for like some of the winter, but I think they reopened now. And I thought that'd be interesting. I mean, a petting zoo.
Yeah.
For the kids.
I mean, I'm down. Sunday will be church day, and we found this church called Refuge Church, which is really how we came across this church. Is completely coincidental. There's a podcast that I started listening to last year called Haunted Cosmos. It talks about different things that happen throughout the earth, the history, more focused on like the spookiness, questions that like, do ghosts exist? Are there sea monsters? But from a biblical perspective. I love this podcast. I've been listening to it since last year. When Ashley and I started talking about Utah, I had no idea that the podcast hosts were from Utah. And one of the random episodes, they just talked about being in Utah. And I'm like, I text Ashley, I'm like, oh, this is funny that the podcast I listen to, like, they live in Utah. And we're talking about Utah. So we just kind of left it at that. And then when we were actually thinking through, okay, well, what are we going to do like on Sunday? Is there a church we want to visit? I know that Utah has a heavy Mormon population. We are not Mormons. We are Presbyterian. We attend a Presbyterian church. So we wanted to attend a Christian church in that same vein. Some, Reformed definitely. And we found that this church is actually located in Ogden, which is where we were like thinking about visiting. And then one of the hosts of the Haunted Cosmos hosts another podcast with his wife called Bright Hearth, where they just talk a lot about marriage issues, and Ashley's gotten really into that. So like it's kind of all just kind of tied together nicely, and we're like, hey, like this is pretty cool. We can go to that church and visit and worship with those believers. hours. So it was like nothing really planned. It just kind of fell into place really beautifully. We're looking forward to maybe hopefully meeting some new people, maybe making new friendships, but at the very least worshiping God together. So that'll be Sunday. And then through random Google search, we actually found out that there's a farmer's market
And that's like the first weekend or the second weekend they're having it.
They're like it's not like a full year event. It's actually from May to, is it like June, or it's like not a long time, and it's actually that first weekend. So we'll go to the farmer's market then. And I was thinking maybe we can combine it with something like the aquarium. Farmer's market be like a morning activity, and the aquarium could be an afternoon activity. Normally when we try to plan events, naturally people probably go to, what are we going to do Friday? What are we going to do Saturday? What are we going to do Sunday? And I was talking with my sister. She's taken several trips, so I even asked her, how do you go about planning activities? And she says what's really helped her, that I think she got from one of her friends, is instead of planning your days, plan like in batches. So instead of saying, what am I going to do Friday, find the activities you want to do and say, okay, on one of the days we need to do this and this. On one of the days we need to do this and this. And then she says, depending on how she feels, she plays around with that combination throughout her trip. Because she made the mistake once of saying, okay, I'm going to do these activities. But by the time she got to like the second day, she was exhausted and she had already planned to do another activity the next day. She bought like the tickets and things like that. So now she's like, if I have a moment where I'm like, I just need to do nothing, great, I'll just put this for the next day.
And that's the thing with kids too. Like you don't know like how they're going to be during the day. And like, you know, Vesta still takes like 2 naps a day. And like sometimes Leon takes like at least 1 nap a day. So we're going to try and see like how we do that as well, like based on how the kids are feeling. So I don't think we have too much on there that we want to accomplish, but it's just enough for the time that we're there to like be able to do, and they'll still have fun without being overly exhausted or anything.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this very much. So I put like the dinosaur park and splash pad on the same day. It could be like a morning to early afternoon, and maybe like a cool off with the splash pad if it's like mid afternoon.
Depending on the weather.
Depending on the weather.
Yeah.
The zoo will probably do it on one of the days. And then we have here Waterfall Canyon, and then just drive around and just look at the houses. I think that'll be just like an embracing the scenery type of a day. So originally was Waterfall Canyon. I think we can easily replace that with any natural beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
Maybe it's more just like that could be like a willy-nilly day where we're like not at the house, we're driving, enjoying nature, seeing what that community is like, and gaining a new experience. I think on that same note, like one of the things that I told Ashley that I really want to make sure she keeps me accountable is that we're not doing in Utah what we do here. Earlier when we started talking, I mentioned about how I just tend to want to be at home. Like I want to be the opposite in Utah than what I am here. One, because I want to actually embrace this trip as something different and unique. And two, you know, there's a lot of money going into this.
I was gonna say, but I didn't know if you were gonna say.
Yeah, like obviously it's not like exactly. And I don't want to make that seem like we're paying thousands and thousands of dollars. But you know, you got to get the Airbnb for a week, the rental car for a week, plane tickets, which thankfully we use points, so we didn't have to pay too much out of pocket. But we got to eat, which there's like a Walmart not too far from the Airbnb, so we'll stock up with some home food items. Yeah. But you know, we're not gonna be like eating home every day because that's part of the point of the vacation.
Yeah, I think our goal is to not be at the Airbnb too much.
Yeah, at least not during the day. Definitely like at night when it's like relaxing time, 6 o'clock and after, unless there's like an activity. You know, we'll chill, look at the mountains.
The thing is, our kids don't really like being home. I feel, well, sometimes Nick's gets in his mood where he's like, oh, like we have to go somewhere.
Yeah, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to miss out on them wanting to actually go and do things. So I hope this is the start of a nice tradition for us. Not that we're planning again to take a trip every weekend, but definitely every 3 to 6 months doing something out of our comfort zone. Even within that same 3 months, you know, doing like activities over the weekend. Like for us, going to Tampa for the weekend, I don't equate that with like an extravagant trip. That's just like
staycation.
A staycation. It's close enough, 2 hours away, and we're just kind of chilling for a day or two. I want to embrace this as the start of
something new.
Something new. I don't know the song.
High School Musical.
This is the start of something new. Yeah. Something. Take it away, Zach.
I never knew that it could happen till it happened to me. Oh, yeah.
isn't even really him singing.
You don't gotta burst his bubble. I'm glad we got to talk through this. I feel more prepared. It's really just getting there. We could, depending on how the kids are and how we feel, like if Vesta needs a nap or Leo needs a nap or anything, because there'll be like that 2-hour difference. We could even start an activity that night. It could be something as simple as we're getting pizza the first day and going to the park, or we could just start by driving to the aquarium. I don't, probably not, but
that's a bit. No, it's only 20 minutes.
Yeah,
but
we at least we have the activities grouped together where I think we can flip them around as needed and still leave enough wiggle room to like, hey, you know what we heard or what we found out, we should do this. I feel pretty good. Anything else you wanted to mention or talk through?
No, just packing. I mean,
now that was the packing.
No,
this is where the real work begins.
Yeah, we're a week out, and my goal was to have everything packed already. But my goal is before the weekend to have at least the kids done. So
at least you've been. So if I can encourage you and just show gratitude, it's not that Ashley hasn't been doing anything. She's actually been cleaning and organizing clothes,
making lists, watching YouTube videos.
In a world where Ashley is probably being harder on herself by like saying like she hasn't packed yet. She has, but it's just not in a suitcase. She's going through the clothes. She's washing the backlog of clothes that have accumulated. The school year's ending, so now it's just like cleanup time. And I keep seeing her going through clothes and organizing what fits, what doesn't fit. So, and if I can just encourage you that like you are actually getting things done.
Thanks.
So she just likes to be a little bit harder on herself. Like they're not in the suitcase ready to go. So I've done.
I want to be that mom though. I want to be like already.
She don't let her fool you. She is demonstrating that desire. But glad you guys joined us for this pretty long talk, and we'll be recording all of it, so we'll definitely have videos up in the coming weeks. Hopefully I can, now that the kids are out of school, I think I can get in a better routine for editing the videos, because normally I edit the videos in the morning, but once the kids are up at 6, we have to stop whatever we're doing and just make lunch, make breakfast, get dressed, and that's a whole hour and 15-minute process for Ashley to get out the door by 7:15, but she's like leaving at 7:30. But as of this recording, the kids only have 3 days left. So by the time this video goes up, they will be done with school.
Yeah.
And we'll be enjoying the summer. So more videos to come. Thanks for hanging out. We are the Serranos. This is just a little slice of our life. If that's what you guys can vibe with, get down with, hit that subscribe button, like the video, come back and check out our other things. And I'm happy to have you guys along for the ride. Anything you feel like you need to say?
No.
That's pretty much it. So yeah, come back around for our Utah videos and we'll see how we split that up, but it'll definitely be a lot of fun. So thanks for hanging out, guys. And with that, I'll go ahead and say, may the Lord bless you and keep you, and may you all be good out there.